scheme N3 north between Marlborough Drive and the Bakulu turnoff due to roadworks.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with afternoon thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 24 and 25 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour: community members have gathered outside the Mamelodi Magistrates Court, where a 38-year-old suspect is expected to make his first appearance in connection with the murder of 2 women.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Mangatela
On 702.
Let's Walk the Talk, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app,
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
After 9 o'clock. Dumelang. Welcome to the Clement Mangatela Show on this Wednesday, the 29th day of October. 2 days actually to go before we wrap up this month. I hope you're well this morning. It's wonderful to be in your company. We were meant to be in Westbury today. We had an outside broadcast planned. Everything was done. We were going to be in Westbury following the recent shooting of these 7 young men, which left 2 of them deceased, one of them 13 years old. And police had told us last week that they believe that this has something to do with gang. There was a 60% or so chance of rain today, so we had to make a call late last night to postpone our outside broadcast. So I apologize for that. But normally when we do outside broadcasts and it's raining, it affects the quality of the line. So we don't want to be having technical glitches because of the weather. So we've decided to postpone it. So we're going to do it next week. I'm sorry. I know there are so many people who wanted to come and join us for this conversation. In fact, I received a message now as I started the show from, what's the name? Okay, Anonymous. Okay, this person says, Clement, I want to remain anonymous. I'm raising boys in yesterday. Was he? With Castle Matale. Was he there yesterday?
10 went together. That's Castle Matan.
Well, Castle was there in Parliament yesterday to check out. We're going to find out today. So I want to take you live to the Madlanga Commission just after 10 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, we're going to do a listener's choice feature. And given what we've heard from the parliamentary committee yesterday, from one of the deputy ministers of police, Castle Matale, we're going to revisit a conversation we've had several times before about deputy ministers. What do they actually do when they don't have delegated powers yet? I mean, for a whole year, you've just earned 2.2 million rand doing what? You and I, my friends, are paying that 2.2 million rand for deputy ministers to do what exactly? That's why Action SA has actually proposed a private members bill in parliament to enact a constitutional amendment to do away with the position of deputy ministers, as they are clearly unnecessary. But the president disagrees because he's been asked this question before in parliament. So that's what we're looking at 11 o'clock. And then we wrap up the show at 11:30 with the sharing space. That's the show coming up in the next 3 hours.
Clement Maniatella, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856
92.7
and 106 FM.
Clement, it's to me here. My observation is that they're not consistent in terms of getting there. Sometimes some are coming late, some are leaving early. Depending on the weaknesses, some are not coming. I think they're not really showing the respect to the public. Good morning.
Tabang from Cape Town. When it comes to the parliamentarian, when they ask questions to the people, what you're saying, I noticed it yesterday because the big question was, do we really need deputy ministers? Because the big question was, do we need them? And the answer was, it looked like everyone was agreeing to say we don't need them. And then Dumiseni Nduli came. And then the way he was asking the question was more like to say we need the deputy ministers, because everyone was almost in agreement to say we don't need them because of how Kasamatera was saying he hasn't been given his duties yet, because for a whole year.
For the longest time, that's how the ANC, we've had conversations even about how the ANC has funded itself over the years. For the longest time, you get comrades who get their friends or their family members, they inflate prices, and then the next thing, boom, that's why Fikile Mbalula, even the ANC has said, the issue of money in the elective conference isn't an issue. That's because things get inflated and then they fund them. But here's the thing, Koketo, before you go, we need to be careful not to make Bekitele a hero. I've tried to say this last week because, one listener even sent a voice note and say we need to give Bekitele his flowers. I was shocked. The fact that Bekitele came and exposed or revealed, spoke about things he wasn't even asked about for, doesn't make him a hero, right? He went and slept at someone's house that he knew. Babita Delkaran.
Milani,
Weekday mornings.
4 to 6.
What, in your opinion, needs to be done immediately by the National Police Commissioner, I suppose, by extension, the acting police minister, to help address this?
To enforce the current law, the Firearms Control Act of 2000, because it has been successful for some time. When it was implemented, it halved deaths from 34 to 18 in 2009. The government is also to tighten control over the legal guns themselves.
Dr. Stanley Maposa is the executive director of Gun Free South Africa.
Africa Milani.
4 to 6 on 702.
Don't let high business insurance premiums drain your cash flow. Switch to Outrance Business Insurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your premium. For plumbing, electrical, tradesmen services and other industries, Outrance Business Insurance are trusted experts in insuring your business. It's time to get more out of your business insurance. Get a quick and easy quote today. Call 08600 60,000 or visit outrance.co.za. Licensed insurance audit. T's and C's and information online.
PG Glass Repair, PG Glass Replace.
Hi, I'm Komodo, PG Glass Technician. At PG Glass, we keep your windscreen chip-free and crystal clear.
Choose PG Glass, quality you can trust. Visit pg.co.za.
Time. When you're a kid, it moves slower than a sloth trying to get through airport security. There is just so much of it. Skip forward a few years to your 20s. Time is still your friend. It says have some balance. Go party and have fun. Then your 30s hit. And time suddenly steps on the accelerator like it's trying to catch a traffic light before it goes red. 40s. Now time is moving faster than your 10-year-old on a sugar high. 50. You're desperately trying to save as much as you can.
Today's my friend, I'm not going.
hide. There was a tender in Pretoria. Actually, that's why I think he was removed as a commissioner before he became a minister. So Begikele, not a hero at all. If anything, is the opposite.
Yeah, good morning, Clement. I think Julius Malema is right not to attend when it's his friend who's being questioned, because he doesn't want to play with people's minds. It's easy for him. If people forces him to attend, he will attend. But before he attends, he'll speak to his friend. They'll discuss which questions are appropriate for me to ask you. Then together they come up with the right question that we want to ask each other. Then he will attend and only ask him that. What are people going to do? By not attending, at least he's respecting us.
Good morning, Clement. I wonder if we did see Ashley Souls when he was questioning the National Commissioner, Fanima Semola. He went on and on and on, accusing the national...
A white male at the gate who identified himself as Captain Kruger. Can you tell us about that interaction?
Oh, Commissioner, while I was there on the gate, amongst that group of members who were wearing golf t-shirts, and there was another white male who identified himself as Captain Kruger, but he was in a civilian clothing. And I also identified myself to him, but he was having, if not a diary, it was a notebook. And then he asked for my particulars, and I gave him my particulars, and he recorded on that time.
Did you tell him that you were from the PKT team?
That is correct.
Okay. And
although you referred to it as the National Task Team, I think you say, or not? Or am I mistaken? Maybe I'm mistaken.
No, you're correct, Chair. Yes, you're correct.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
You refer to it as the National Task Team.
Yes, that's correct.
And you were still dealing with the engagement with Captain Kruger. Can I ask you to look at paragraph 14 of your statement on page 4? Do you have it?
That is correct.
Okay. You speak about that you introduced yourself to Captain Kruger, and you speak about something that happened while you were talking to him on page 5. Can you tell us about what happened while you were engaging with Captain Kruger?
While I was still talking to Captain Kruger, there's some individual of the Hawks, they came chipping in, asking questions, but I heard a noise that sounded to be the helicopter when I got distracted as well. And then when I looked, it was a helicopter, of which I cannot confirm whether it was a SAPS helicopter or not. But it flew about in few circles, and also it flew away.
And this happened while you were still speaking to Captain Kruger?
That is correct.
Were you able to establish what the helicopter was doing in the vicinity?
At that time, I could not establish. I was not sure whether the helicopter was part of the Hawks, or it was from the flying police flying division also. So it was uncertain to me which one is which.
Okay, and then you, still in the same paragraph 14 on page 5, you say that you were joined by other members from your team while you were engaging with Captain Kruger. Can you just tell us about that?
Commissioner, while I was still there with Captain Kruger also asking questions about the operation and any papers that allows us to execute that operation. I was also joined by Witness A, as well with the other members who I am. Oh, he first introduced himself as a Captain Kruger from the Hawks, but he didn't show me his identity, which is a police card. Yes, and I also introduced myself as well, as because he the name of Lieutenant General Gomora. Then they started to connect the dots now, that no, this might be real, this must be genuine, it can't be the bogus police officers who can maybe know about the high-ranking officer.
Thank you, Commissioner Khumalo. Captain Wanda, did the members of the Hawks tell you why they were there?
If you've got a suspicion of illegal activity that happens within or at a specific address, a local police station policing that area is activated to go and verify and confirm whether what is happening, is it real or is it not real. But I would expect the members of the police in uniform, marked vehicles, to come and speak to us about the whole operation. I couldn't capture on that particular time. The only thing I concentrated, that was a brigadier, and it's a high-ranking officer, of which I had to show respect and listen to him, what he was saying. And the brigadier, he says no, he would like to apologize on behalf of the members of the Hawks, because they were given a wrong information, but he is in the office of the Lieutenant General Libya, but they are at Limpopo attending the Police Excellence Awards in that particular time. And then he further switched on the cell phone on video, of which he panned it sideways, and I could see the police officers in blue and the setup of the background of that area, that no, the brigadier is really in that specific functions for the awards. And then after I ended the call, I gave it back to that specific individual of whom we look as a civilian to me, and then the call ended there. And then, but Captain Kruger was just there next to me. He could listen because I didn't move. I just stood next to him while I was on the phone.
Thank you, Captain. If I can just take you back to the identity of the unknown African male. You say you don't recall if he identified himself to you or if you just don't remember his name. During the preparation of your evidence, I indicated to you that there's another witness that will be giving evidence, Captain Kruger, who had taken certain photographs on the scene on the day of various people that were on the scene. I had shown you some of the photographs, and you indicated to me that one of the individuals on that photograph is the person.
I do not recall why he specifically informed me that he was with General Libya. You see where I am?
Commissioner's page?
Right at the top of page 7. You say, at the top of page 7 in your statement, you say, I do not recall why he specifically informed me that he was with General Libya. You see where I'm reading?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Now, before he said this to you, before Mr. Mkwena, told you this, had Captain Kruger mentioned to you that someone had said that General Libya is at the house with you in the operation?
No.
Was this the first time you had anything about the mentioning of General Libya?
No, not at all.
No. So, let me repeat my question. When the brigadier tells you that he was with General Libya, this was the first time you had a mention of General Libya.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloy. Can we then go back to your statement at page 8, paragraph 25, where you start off with your topic on possible interference? Before you deal with the content of those paragraphs, can you tell the commissioners why you refer to it as possible interference and not interference? Why is it possible interference?
Commissioner, I've been to a planned operations while I was still before I was deployed at National Task Team in my district, King Sejong district in KwaZulu-Natal, as well as the other operations that I was also part of it that took place in East London, in Eastern Cape, where I went to 4 addresses in East London, as well as in 2 addresses in Alice. But I didn't experience any interference from any other police agency.
Yes, my question is, why do you refer to it as being possible interference? That suggests that you are not sure whether it was actually interference, as opposed to saying that you are convinced that it was interference. Why is there a doubt about it?
Firstly, Commissioner, as I alluded earlier on, that the local police stations would have been activated to come and verify is whether is it illegal operations or not illegal operations, and why such a big team from the Hawks, as the commissioner have said, that maybe one member with a good attitude as well. So the attitude and their presence was concerning to me, Commissioner. I've never experienced the interference in my career as well, colleagues, and I therefore then give them the benefit of doubt. That did not sit well with
X called him and gave him wrong information. Why did Malcolm X do that? Those are the questions on my mind. It's a minute before 11.
Accident. It's not panic breaking. It's our amazing car stopping 40th birthday deals. For a limited time only, Auto & General is offering great savings with our 40th birthday Ruby deals. Celebrate with us by visiting autogen.co.za for great personal and business car insurance savings. Auto & General, never not there. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online. Offer available for a limited time only.
The milk steamer was loud. So loud that Lungi heard hot milk instead of oat milk. It was bad. The milk didn't really sit right with the lactose intolerant customer. It was bad. Too bad they didn't have Yoko counter. With Yoko printer, orders flow straight to the barista. Yoko counter, super simple POS and payments in one. No contracts, no hidden costs.
To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We're also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct. To give you balanced programming, fair comment, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we're not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission, PO Box 412365, Craighall 2024. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Spiso Zulu. We start with breaking news. The man accused of killing 2 women in Mamelodi has appeared in court on 5 charges. Tebogo Mnisi was arrested in connection with the shooting of Baliseng and Tiamo Moromacha on Sunday. The bodies of the 2 cousins were found by a neighbor just a few meters away from their home. It's understood one of the victims was...
Yet. So it's almost like for the past year, over a year, these deputy ministers have been doing what exactly? And I'm not even talking about just them arriving at the scene because there's been a terrible murder and they have to show face with the minister or with the national commissioner. We're talking here about actual work that they do. From what you heard yesterday, I mean, was he able to justify why there's a need for deputy ministers and why they exist?
Yes, good morning. I think what we've heard is the bad example of the deputy minister. There are some good ministers, and it will be interesting, you ask for the listeners to send in their suggestions of who they think are good deputy ministers. Let me start first of all by saying cabinet ministers are members of the cabinet, deputy ministers are not. That's all, I think, the broader picture that we need to take into account.
Yeah.
When it comes to deputy ministers, some of them, I should say that also, deputy ministers in general are not supposed to be so public in nature. What often happens in ministers is that the ministers are more the public figures and the deputy ministers are the ones who do a lot of the office work. So they are less, opening of new events or attending events or so, but rather very much involved with working with the department, the director general.
Yet yesterday, that's not necessarily the case. Here's the issue I think I'm picking up here, Professor Kotsia. If ministers, because you said earlier there was an agreement that the ministers have to draw up the responsibilities for their deputies. If ministers are the ones that have to sort of design those responsibilities, I think that there's going to be tension there, because my experience in the past, having observed ministers and deputies, is that there's often tension that exists between the two offices, because ministers don't want to be overshadowed by their deputies. So you will see that even when they delegate their responsibilities to them, it's merely, go cut that ribbon there, go attend that meeting, but there's never anything of substance, which then leads to the deputy ministers feeling undermined, and then there's tension, and then the president has to intervene. It's happened before in the past with Faith Mutambi and what's his name, Stella Ndabeni, and other ministers as well. So doesn't that create a situation where the tensions are going to increase if you're putting that responsibility to Derek Kotsia as well, who is a professor in the Department of Political Sciences at UNISA, for joining us for that chat. It's 11:32. Good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. The man accused of killing 2 women in Mamelodi has abandoned his bail application. Lebogo Mnisi appeared in court briefly this morning, facing 5 charges. Nisi was arrested in connection with the shooting of Baleseng and Siamo Moramaga on Sunday morning. A member of the Political Killings Task Team has told the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry that he was puzzled by the number of Hawks officers who disrupted the takedown operation of alleged crime boss Katiso KT Molefe. During his testimony at the commission this morning, Captain Maxwell Wanda revealed he was amongst the officers who raided Molefe's home in December last year. That raid was in connection with the murder of engineer Albert Swart. And in KZN, emergency service teams are on high alert as severe rain and thunderstorms hit parts of that province. The SA Weather Service issued a warning of harsh weather conditions in both the western and northern parts of KZN. The conditions are expected to persist